Welcome. First and foremost, let me turn down my music. Hold on. I'm hooked on this song, but we'll talk about it in a minute. Welcome to In Love with Kimberly Michael. I'm Kimberly Michael, and this show is about accountability, particularly in women. It's my wine for the night. It's my birthday tomorrow, so we fucking celebrating. That's the first thing. And should I turn on my music more? Probably. I probably need to go out of big screen because I can't see anything in big screen. So I'm going to exit full screen so I can see. I love this show. Me too, Silky Savage. Me fucking too. So I'm going to leave it on a smaller thing. Y'all tell me if the music is too loud. Oh, I'm turning down the wrong thing. Hold on, let me turn y'all back up and turn my music. Okay, a couple things to start the show. Number one, savagecom.ent. Subscribe, like, follow, and share the shit out of the show. Gillian's here. We're about to bring her in. Thank God. I've been waiting my whole life for her. She's going to bitch about my music, but I don't care because we're actually going to talk about this in a minute. I'm serious too. But with that being said, I want to welcome everybody to the show. I want a big shout out to Jim Savage, who approached me to come on his YouTube. And he does, I'm just being honest, he does all the fucking work. I do nothing. I literally show up and talk. I mean, that's it. He does all the commercials. He does all the intros, all the outros. He's fucking brilliant. And I love him. And he checks on my mental, which is important because I don't feel like we do that enough. So, yes, hit the like button, all of that. So, today, the topic is creating generational curses. Disclaimers. Number one, I've been drinking most of the day because my birthday's tomorrow. Happy birthday to me. I will be fucking 2. Makes no sense to me at all, but I'm going to be 52 tomorrow. But I started celebrating today. And I'm going to celebrate tomorrow. And I'm probably going to celebrate the next day. I don't know how to bring Gilly on. Yes, I do. Don't just let me practice. Add to stream. So I'm bringing Gilly on. So she doesn't have, Gilly, you don't have to put your video on if you don't want to, boo, for the record. You can just be the screen. So tonight's topic is creating generational curses. And yes, I said creating, not breaking, because I really don't think that we as women understand what the fuck we're doing. And honestly, I may be a little hostile this evening. I may be a little not completely nice. But honestly, for me, the amount of work that I have put in. Thank you, Silky Savage. Thank you so much. The amount of work that I have put in to heal myself because of how unhealed I was in raising my seeds, so that I could be that woman that is full of whole, healthy, healing love for them now to be the mama that they needed that they didn't have, and the mama that I needed that I didn't have, it pisses me off to see this shit. And I'm just being honest. I'm just being honest. So I saw again a TikTok the other day. I mean, this is where I get a lot of my content. I'm just being honest, online, social media. And it was a woman. I don't know what kind of car she was in front of. The biggest fucking SUV you could get, she was in front of it. She had a baby on the hip and maybe 2 or 3 children, I think 2 girls in front of her and a baby on the hip, if I'm not mistaken. They were all dressed identical. And she said, in the clip said, when my husband tells me to lose my attitude, but I've already, what did it say, Jay? It said I already not created. That's not the word she used.
Cloned. Or
3
duplicated, something like that. And they go on a line.
Right.
And they all look alike.
Yeah, they all look like they have the same shit on. And mind you, they're all like this.
With that same flip of the hair, same attitude or look.
Exactly. Yeah. They all got the face. They all got they all got the attitude. And she's promoting this. And so here's my thing. Hey, Steven. Hey, boo. Thank you. I appreciate you. Here's my thing. This is not okay. Like, there are women that are fighting so hard to be the best women that they could be, to create a beautiful and whole women in our seeds. And then I'm just gonna say this. And then you bitches come along bragging about how you're creating an attitude, how you creating nonsense, how you creating hatred and not self-loathing. That's not a good word. I mean, what is it, Gilly? Like,
entitlement or superiority?
So hard.
Some sense of superiority or entitlement, maybe. I don't know.
Entitlement. I mean, it makes me emotional. I'm not
It's just a brat. You're just a brat, and you're making brats. Is basically what you're saying.
I mean, so the objective is to break generational curses and create generational blessings. But it looks like that we women, again, let me be clear, I'm not fucking speaking for men because I don't have a penis, okay? I can't speak for them. I cannot tell them what to do. I cannot tell them how to act. I cannot tell them how to be. I can't tell a woman how to be either, but I can speak for a woman because I have a cootie cat. So, actually, there's another verbiage for that because I'm grown.
Oh, my goodness.
But that's not the point, okay? The point is that I'm working so hard, and people in my circle and my sphere are working so hard to heal, to create a healed whole woman from our seeds. And then you bitches come along, excuse my French, but I mean, I'm not calling a single person a bitch. I'm just saying.
Or the children. We're mainly speaking of the matriarch of the family.
I guess it's not good for me to speak to other women like that. So I'm going to say women out here are creating new generational curses to pass on. It's not fucking okay for you to have an attitude with your husband all the time. It is not okay for you to create an attitude in your children, especially girls. Why would you do that? We are so discombobulated at this point, women. And I've spoken about this before, that we move in a way that we are embracing and encouraging bad behavior.
We could also be seeing some very unhealed people, because what they may have is a facade. They may be putting up a completely different face, because some of those millennials, they've just entered the healing moments. And
And
what we
she,
now also have is a bigger picture to the middle class of America. We can see everything everyone's doing all the time.
I mean, it just doesn't make any
And
sense
it's
to
an
me.
example. You said
It
basic
doesn't make any
people.
sense to me. And I have talked to men, and and hopefully some of my people will come on here that I talked to today specifically. And I talked to someone today, and I'm not going to say who it was because I want him, if he wants to speak about his life, he can, right? And he's not the only one. Two different men this week. Two different men. It's fucking Tuesday. It's fucking Tuesday, y'all. Two different men I have spoken to. And hello, Victoria. Hello, lovely. Hey, K Boogie. Hey, boo. I've spoken to two different men this week. These are the conversations. The conversation was my, I hate to say this, but baby mama, even though he's my age and I'm going to be 52 tomorrow. Yes, I said it. Y'all, first of all, y'all don't see me. I'm going to be 52 tomorrow. I'm acting up. I'm going to be 52 tomorrow. So he's in my age bracket, 52. He's got a grown daughter with a child. And we have been having conversations. This is not the first conversation we've had, but because of this podcast tonight, we was having this conversation about how the mother, she predominantly was involved in, and he was involved, don't get me wrong, but the mother had the child. And her behavior now, and how he speaks to his son-in-law and his daughter about her behavior. But the mother has created, maybe she didn't create it, maybe this is an instance where it's passed down. But another gentleman, he's an acquaintance of mine, and he is what Kevin Samuels would consider a high value man. He's fucking amazing. He's brilliant. He is definitely in the six figures and maybe very close to seven. They are creating wealth together and all of those things. But we had a conversation several months ago, but it also, I talked to him the other day and we had thank you, Victoria. Everybody's so sweet to me. We had a conversation months ago, but then we also followed up with the conversation recently because I saw him again about the way that his wife talks to him. And we had the conversation prior to it actually happening, but I said to him, you do understand that eventually your children, who are girls, are going to start not only speaking to you that way, but they're also going to start speaking to other men that way as well too. And he was like, so we had a back and forth conversation. 2 days later, 2 days, he called me. He said, can we talk? I said, of course, absolutely. He said, I went home the other night, literally the day after you spoke to me about this, and his daughter asked him for something. And I don't remember what his response was, but the daughter said to him, because I told you, Daddy, because I told you to do it. And he said, in that moment, Kim, it brought me back to our conversation yesterday. And it fucking hit him like a brick wall that his daughters are mimicking his wife's behavior and speaking to him like this because I told you to do it. First of all, you a fucking child. You're not going to talk to me like that. That's the first thing. But this is not what this is about. This is not about a father-daughter relationship. This is fucking about a woman and a girl's ideal about how she talks to a fucking man. Us women are running around here talking about how men don't do this, how men don't do that, how men are blah, 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 and this and that and the other. The first point is this. Stop fucking talking to these men. Stop telling them what they need to do and how they need to be, and start fucking talking to yourself about who the fuck you need to be as a woman. And am I angry tonight? No, but I'm fucking tired. And I'm just going to be honest. And I'm going to tell you why. Because I can't even fucking talk to a man the way that I talk to a man because they don't even understand the way that I talk to them. Why are
How,
you talking to me like this?
how do you talk to them?
Because I talk to them lovingly and I ask them, I say shit to men like, what can I do for you? How is your mental today? I believe in you. Is there anything I can do for you today? You're doing amazing things. You're doing a great job. I encourage them and I speak life into them. I've literally had men say to me, "Will you talk to me like, that we did?" I don't. So my ex, I've been single for 6 years, and I call them two hiccups. I had two hiccups. I dated uh, a year and a half one guy, and 6 months another guy, and the both of them, but the first one not so much, but the second one, he was like, why do you talk to me like this? Why? I'm like, and one day he said, not one day, but repeatedly he had said to me, why you always smiling? Why you always fucking happy? Why you always smiling? And I said to him, I said, at first I started to say something, and then I thought about it for a minute. I said, it's really fucking sad that you are surrounded by so many miserable ass people that you don't even know what happiness looks like. Listen, we've all had fucked up. At this point, it is a rarity to run across someone who has a normal life. I remember 20 years ago, and I used to tell my mom that our family was not fucking normal. And she used to say to me, well, who do you know he's got a normal fucking family, Kimberly? I remember, like, that's an excuse because everybody's family's fucked up that we're allowed to be fucked up. And I'd be like, Mom, I don't know if I know anybody that's normal, but this isn't. And it doesn't make it okay that we're not normal because everybody else isn't fucking normal. That doesn't make it okay. And let's, we can go back and forth about normal and normalities and the verbiage and all that. But at this point, there's not a whole lot of people that you can run across that haven't been through some type of pain and trauma. I don't want to call everything trauma because some of it is just heartbreak and pain. It's just life. People die. You cannot say, my grandmama died, my mama died, and I'm never going to get over it. Man, people.
Or I'm 32 years old and I can't get ahead in life because my parents didn't raise me right. Like at this point, you already knew that. You're 32.
And we have access to every fucking thing that we can have access to do to give us the knowledge that we need to grow and heal and evolve. But instead of us doing that, we're creating new generational curses for our children. We're telling our daughters that it's okay not only to have an attitude, period, but to have an attitude with your daddy, with a man, with the leader and the head of the household. And now, so instead of us breaking the curses, we're continuing other curses and we're creating new ones. Do you not fucking see that? Do we not, as women, we cannot as women keep talking at men. It is not our responsibility to change a man. It's not our responsibility to talk to them, to tell them who to be, how to be, what to be. That's not our fucking responsibility. It is our fucking responsibility as women to heal ourselves and to show up as a fucking woman that we need to be. And I promise you this, if you actually took the fucking time to heal your wounds, to deal with your trauma, to deal with your pain, and then to actually work on changing your actual behavior, you would stop attracting these fuck-ass men you keep talking about. You would start attracting men who are at the level that you are in your healing process. They don't have to be above you. They don't have to be below you, and they don't have to be equal to you. But what they have to be is fucking aware. They need to be aware that they have issues that they need to address, and you need to be able to say to them, how are you addressing those pains and those needs and those behaviors? There is no reason for us at the age that we are, and I'm specifically speaking of me because I will be 52 tomorrow. Did I say that? And for us to be saying, oh, I know I'm fucked up, that's why I act that way, and that's okay. It's not fucking okay. It is not okay to teach your children to talk speak and be something that is not cohesive with good, positive, whole, healing energy? At what point, hey, solid blue sister, hey, boo. At what point are we as women and humans, we can say this as a human factor, but again, I'm a woman, that's how I'm speaking. I'm a woman, I'm speaking from when we can speak to this as a human, but I'm speaking as a woman. At what point are we going to hold ourselves accountable? That's what this fucking show is about. It's about being accountable. And I'm holding this heifer accountable. How dare you? I don't care if you think it's fucking cute or not. Teach your daughters to have fucking attitudes, not only with their daddy, but with other men. Because let me tell you something. All of us ain't got a daddy that's involved in our lives. It's not there every day. That doesn't encourage us and support us. This heifer is in matching outfits with her kids. They're not hurting for anything financially. Which tells me that he is taking care of them. Not only her, but their seeds. And you're going to disrespect him? And teach your children to disrespect their father when they've been missing in our communities for so fucking long. Ooh, Lord, let me get some tissue.
You got the vapors.
I grew up with my daddy and my mother. They were married until I was grown, until I was 19, 20, 21. And then my daddy did not talk to me for 6 years. For 6 years. Not a word. I would have done anything.
Is it because you had that fever?
Yeah.
It's okay.
I would have done anything to talk to my daddy. I was 18 to 24. I have 2 beautiful, amazing Black men that I have raised. Although I was not on my own, although their father was in the household, he was toxic beyond belief. And what I know is I would do anything in
Would
this
you have
world.
rather had him not in the picture and them not have a father figure at all, or have the father figure they had? I guess I already know the answer. Maybe I don't.
So would I have rather him not been around? So let me be clear about this. Me personally, I have no regrets about my life. I would never go back and say, I want to change, I want to do, I want to be, I would do this. People tell me all the time, why didn't you leave sooner?
I do. I have lots.
Right? Why didn't you leave sooner is the most question. Why didn't you leave? Why didn't you do this? Why didn't you do that? And put me in a position where they want me to regret. Let me tell y'all something. Who my seeds are based on the life that they've lived thus far, I wouldn't change anything. They have pain and they have trauma and they have to heal wounds that I participated and co-created.
Hey, guess what though? They also have wounds they never had, scars that never appeared, pains that they don't know of because you ended that cycle. Just wanted to let you know that, my friend.
They are the most amazing human beings that I've ever met in my life. And they have taught me more than I ever thought that I could teach them, right? And so I'm not about to sit here and tell you that I regret or would I rather him not, would I rather him have what I would have wanted. Like, if I could say that there's regrets or anything, what I would tell you is this: I would have wanted him to be a healed and whole father, but I wasn't a healed and whole mother either. I would have said that I wanted him to step up and
I was there. You tried your best. The most healed and whole person could not have fixed that situation. Not your fault. So you've become a better, stronger version of yourself. They've become better, stronger versions of themselves.
that part.
And I think it's a blessing you ended it when you did.
And that's the part I'm making. Like, we're out here, so some of us women are working so hard to get into our the highest vibration that we can get into, to get to the highest level of healing that we can get into. We're trying so hard to create something beautiful from something chaotic. And you have women that are out here creating new curses to pass on generationally to our seeds.
I broke a couple of pretty hefty curses. I broke physical abuse. I broke um, a lot of different things. And but now that I see them come up, I kind of look at them, and I've wondered that before, but I never knew how to verbalize it. That I see patterns in them now that I didn't grow up with, and I'm thinking, did I create a new curse? So now that you say that, I'm going to step back and use that same observation and wonder what they are. So you added value.
I mean, we've got to take responsibility as women for not only ourselves as human beings, but ourselves as women and ourselves as mothers. We cannot allow the narratives that are being pushed, but let's be clear, they're not for us. They're divisive. All of them, every narrative that is out there currently is a divisive narrative. It's two folds, and you're not paying attention because you think it's just so fucking cute, and it's so, this, and it's so that, and let me share this real quick, and let me do this real quick. We are not helping the situation, okay? And at some point, even if you're not breaking generational curses, why in the fuck would you create new ones? Why would you do it? Why would you set your children up for failure? Why would you teach your daughters to be less than who they are?
I have a story. So I knew this couple, and I went to the beach with them. I hadn't seen them for years. I had just met the wife, and I had just met their 3-year-old daughter, and we all went to the beach. And the father, as an example, they got back to the beach, and he was sitting down, and his daughter walked up. He immediately got up, and he gave his daughter his seat. And then from that point on, I watched them, and I watched so many examples of him treating his daughter exactly how he wants a man to treat her from 3. And I just thought that was the most amazing thing. Like, I mean, we grew up with, we walk in a room and they barely stand up for the grandmother that walks in the room. You know what I mean? And this man stood up so his daughter could sit, held the door open for, just did everything. Not that my father never opened the door for me, but it
Right.
was the getting up part. And then I noticed a couple other parts. It was really cool to instill, this is your limit. This is your threshold. This is what you expect from a man and no less. And and at the same time, they were just such a good couple as parents that they were giving an example of how to also act. Oh,
You know, Torch.
he is quite the light, that torch. Quite the light.
I he has a podcast. It's called The Crow Show. Uh,
God.
what is it? What is it? What does the crow stand for? Right or
Constantly
wrong? Something right.
rearranging orange
Something wrong.
widgets.
Right or wrong?
I
Something
don't
right or
know.
wrong. And he talked about how he talks to his daughter. And regardless of what you think about him,
Ah, why would you say that? They don't know
regardless
him.
regardless of what you would think about him, the one thing there's several things that stick out to me about him and about his show. Matter of fact, I'm about to send him a link right now to see if he'll come on. But the one thing that I truly appreciate about him is that he uh he said that he talks to his daughter a particular way and that he only speaks certain words to her. And listen, these aren't the words. Please don't think that they are, because they're not. They're not the words that that he specifically says, but he speaks to her in words that say, he says, I don't speak to her. I only say these words to her specifically because I want her to understand the difference when a man speaks regular shit to her. Like, I'm just saying beautiful, but I'm just using beautiful, right? I'm just using the word, but like, he only tells her she's beautiful. He doesn't tell other women he's beautiful. That's not the word or the words, but I'm saying he specifically will not speak to another woman the words that he specifically uses directly to his daughter, so that she understands when she engages with a man what's basic bullshit and what's different, what's unique in a man, so that she can see, right? And I love him for that. I love him so immensely anyway, but I love him for that on a level I can't explain. And, you know, that's the kind of shit that I can truly appreciate. You know what I mean? That he can do that type of thing. And this is where we need to be. I mean, at some point, we have got to stop creating these curses for our children. And we have got to do do more. We have got to take we absolutely have to hold ourselves accountable and take responsibility for what the fuck that we're doing. It's bad enough that we act like we act. It's bad enough that we use the way that we act and give the excuse that we've been through some shit to act that way. But then for us to create new curses for our daughters and our sons, let's be clear, is unacceptable. Why would you set them up for this shit? Again, who do we think as women that we are? That we're so above and beyond all these men. No, baby, what you are is fucking broken. And what you are is picking broken men. And if you're not picking broken men, if you're picking good and decent men and you're fucking broken, then you're breaking them. And you talking and women talking at these men and telling them what they should or shouldn't do is not the way to fucking solve it. The way to solve it is to fucking hold yourself accountable for your own fucking behavior, for your own brokenness, your own trauma, your own pain, and understand that you are the one that can affect change in your life. You are the one that can affect change in your children. How the fuck are you gonna tell a damn dude on let me tell y'all a story. I'm about to tell y'all.
Here, 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 here.
I'm gonna
I
tell y'all.
guess it has to be said. Is that your thought, your thread there? That this just has to be said.
It just today it has to be said. Because honestly, when I saw this, I mean, I'm it
Did
just
you
makes
save
me
it? Is it in
sick.
your phone?
Oh no, I don't know if Jay can post it. I send it to Jay. I don't know how any of that works. I mean, can I post a link in here, Jay? I'm gonna try. Hold on, just give me a second. I'm gonna do my best to try to. First of all, let me inbox a couple of people really fucking quick. I swear it's really quick. And then I'm gonna attempt to post this link so y'all can see it,
I
right?
had a lot of things that I found that I wasn't accountable for. That I was, because you do something instinctually, Like, I do it so darn quick, so darn easy, so fluid that it almost felt involuntary, that it almost felt like I wasn't doing it on purpose. But of course, it's on purpose. Everything you do is to either get out of trouble, get out of blame,
Right.
things like that. And so I would always uh, just nag and nag and nag. And when it would finally blow up at me, I would look at them, look at them and say, what I do wrong? Like, and just put it all the way back
If it's too
on
late.
them. And it's a horrible thing to do. You got to
It's
be accountable for your actions, and you have to be accountable for your words and your intentions. So many people will text and throw out a good morning text or throw out a text to somebody, and they're not doing it for the purpose of that person receiving that message. They're doing it for the purpose of the person's response. So I even want people to be accountable for their intentions. I absolutely need people to mean what they say what they mean, and be accountable for their intentions. If you intend for this to happen, then you need to speak up, and communication is key. And a lot of people play so many games and play so coy that they're never going to get to the meat of it. You find what you're looking for? I'm trying to fill your space here, bruh.
no, you're doing great, and I appreciate you. I'm actually not.
Go see LGC in the building. Wonderful. Good. And so much more. Have you ever acquired pains on the jobs? Well, I have. Plenty of knee pains. And the only thing I can ask myself is, how can I get rid of this pain? Solution. Natural Skin Bliss Pain Rescue Cream. It works every time. To get your hands on a bottle of Pain Rescue Cream, just hit up this website and contact Miss Lee.
Okay, so that's my producer telling me that I talk too much, basically, and doing the commercial, which is fine. I love him.
Oh,
Subscribe,
that commercial
like.
was great. Did you
I
see those
know.
gift sets?
I know.
Did you see that pain cream?
You,
And you being all natural, you should check out it.
he doesn't even. I don't even think Jay understands that. I'm holistic.
Natural
and
Skin Bliss.
I
Go check that one
only.
out.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, every once in a while, I'll take an ibuprofen if there's some excessive pain somewhere or something. But for the most part, everything I do is holistic. I
Right.
don't take any medication. I don't take.
I like the
antibiotics.
holistic and herbal hoo-hoo cream or hoo-hoo mist.
Yeah. I do yoni
For
treatments.
the popo.
I do yoni
My
treatments.
mother said, call it a popo.
All natural yoni treatments and that kind of thing. Like, I'm very all natural, and and I don't even think Jay knows that. But that's the sponsor, and it's a beautiful,
Excellent
thing.
fit.
Yeah, I agree.
Agreed.
Unbeknownst. So
It could be any kind of brown liquor, but if it wasn't brown liquor, this is awesome.
well, it's not brown. Well, I already had my brown liquor, so now I'm all.
Is it midnight yet? Is it midnight yet? Is it your birthday yet?
Not yet, bitch. It is.
So I got a memory in my Facebook of a year ago, and that's when I was already back from my trip for your birthday. And then I got a memory of 2020, and that's when Brandon had his testicular torsion. And it was on June 8th. We were in the emergency room on your birthday. I was like, okay, that's wild.
Wow.
Yeah, did not know that.
I didn't either. I mean, I really didn't know that. Jay, okay, you guys, Gilly's going to keep talking.
Sure.
Well, okay, I found it.
Okay.
Now, I don't know if this is, I'm just going to be honest with you guys. I don't fucking know if this is going to work. Because I just don't. but I'm gonna try it and we'll figure it out. I want to actually post the TikTok. And listen, I'm not posting this to support this chick, right? And I'm not dogging her, even though I was initially saying bitches and all that. That wasn't really what my intention was. I'm just gonna be honest. I mean, I'm not trying to disrespect this woman by any means, because maybe she just don't fucking know no better. You know what I mean? Like maybe she just don't really fucking understand what she's doing. Okay. Oh Lord, hold on, y'all. Hold on.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
I got it. I think I got it. Just hang on. Okay, here we go. Let's see how that. Please hit the like button for the. Yeah, here. Look. Let's try this.
Where my like button is.
Okay, look. I don't know if y'all can click on this, but that is the initial. Okay, obviously it wasn't even TikTok. It was Facebook.
And all right, let's check it out. I'm gonna copy paste it into my Facebook.
I don't know if you can. Yeah, I don't know if you can see it, but this is where this all stems from. This is what. And look at the babies. Look at the little girls. Now listen. I know what y'all gonna say. It's social media. It's a joke. It's play time. It's this, that, and the other, sideways, whatever. Okay.
It's actually a generation I don't know much of. I really don't understand millennials.
Let me say a couple of things. Number one, I know I already said subscribe, like, comment, share the shit out the show. I've already said that. Let me talk to K Boogie, Silky Savage, Solid Blue Sister, Gilly, Victoria, Steve. Even though he said fuck you to me the other day. That's okay. I know he was playing. I know he loved me. That's all right. Thank y'all for showing up. And I know there's some other people on here because I can see, but I can't see. So I appreciate y'all sharing time with me. But again, if you're here, subscribe, like, comment, share the shit out of this show. Wherever.
The shit out of it.
Yeah. So there's the link how this all started. Okay. Just for the record, this is how this conversation started, right? And if you look at it, if you can look at it, like she's got all the girls are like attitude and, thank you, Silky Savage. All the girls are on there like, I got an attitude. It's not.
She literally could have done the same thing and conveyed the message of confidence rather than brattiness. She could have done the same exact thing and with a different swag.
Absolutely, 100%.
She could have been accountable, as you say, for what she's putting out there and teaching her kids.
She could have been creating generational blessings.
Are we forgetting the hot mess young mother that I was?
Listen, I ain't got no business. Listen.
St. Ides. I mean, let's say less.
Bitch, who? What you mean?
Flavored St. Ides.
Baby, I literally
the parking lot of the Green Parrot. I
literally just had a conversation with someone about how I used to drink Zima and then put.
No, I remember I brought over a liquor and Zima was the chaser. Instead of it just being Coke or Sprite or pineapple juice, Zima was the damn chaser. I'm like, okay, we are in for the night. But we were not.
Just one thing. That's not what I'm sending people the wrong shit because I'm so bad at this, Jay. I'm so fucking bad at this.
Let's just stop. We get it. I think we've all seen it.
I'm trying to get the link to come on the show, and Jay knows I'm just fucking terrible at it. I'm terrible. Okay, I'm getting it because I have people that I'm trying to get on here, and what I'm fucking doing is I'm not doing the right link.
Where are they, and how do they not have Tuesday marked on their calendars? Who is it that you want, dear? Do you have a constant contact list? Do you have an email?
No, I'm sending people the wrong shit is what I'm doing. I'm trying to get them. Yeah, it's not my. It's just I'm not good at this. I mean,
I wanted to bring up something that's kind of in the news in regards to accountability. Of Jada Pinkett Smith taking zero accountability with her statement of let's get these two people together. Like, woman, please stop, sit down, be quiet. Maybe it's just me. I've never liked her. But
I'm not a fan either.
This recent thing of her saying we all just need to get together and these two men need to heal. I'm like, woman, please stop.
I mean,
at this point, you're pandering.
I mean, she's emasculated her husband for years, and now she's got the nerve to tell them to heal. Like, I don't know any of this. Let me just be clear. I don't know anything about any of this that's going on. I don't follow celebrities. I don't own a TV. I haven't owned one for 5 years, and it's for this shit right here. I don't click on links. I don't get. Let me just be honest with you. I don't
Okay,
give a
I'm about to
fuck.
send you the link into your messenger. Can you deal with it from there?
I can actually.
All right.
Okay, great. And so, savage.com. This is where I'm going. I'm gonna fix everything right now. I promise you. So Jay, I'm completely retarded. I don't know what to tell you.
Horrible word. You sent me the link and I just sent it back to you. It's in your messenger.
All right, I got it. So I don't follow them. I don't care about them. I'm not concerned about them. But since
Well, it's
you are
again
bringing
somebody
it
out
up,
there putting it out in the media.
yeah, exactly, and that's fine. Like I have no problem with that. With you bringing it up, and since you are, I'm gonna fucking address it. She has emasculated this man for years. She has literally encouraged, empowered, and embraced her relationship with another man that is since passed away.
And she cared nothing about what he did to his mental state, to the
Right.
point
I
where he got out
understand.
there and
Listen.
publicly just
Right. I
emasculated
understand.
himself.
Right. I understand.
Horrible. She didn't care who she left in her wake. I have absolutely
And
no
I don't
fucks for her.
follow her. I don't follow her. I'm not a fan. I don't follow anybody. Let's be clear about this. It's not just her. I don't follow celebrities. And let me tell you why. Because if you got that much motherfucking money and your life is still miserable and you ain't doing anything to empower your own people, whoever your people are, then I don't have no love for you. I don't give a fuck who you are.
I think she's an opportunist from jump. I think she's an opportunist when she met Tupac. I think she's an opportunist the whole way through. I don't think she discriminates who she climbs over up and through to get her face on the screen.
I know one thing. I know that she has emasculated her husband, and I ain't talked to him recently. Okay, I ain't talked to her or him lately. I don't know what's really going on. I can't speak on it. What I can speak on is the perception that they give me, and the perception that they give me is that she has emasculated him. She has dehumanized him. She has humiliated him and shamed him. And then she gonna go further and talk about how they need to heal, and you a whole whore. Let me tell you something. Ooh, we're gonna have a whole show about this. It's not gonna be tonight, but let me just touch on this briefly. It's one thing to be you don't claim to be in an open relationship and then go behind the open relationship, the other person's back, and do dirt. The fucking whole point of the open relationship is for you to be open and honest with each other at a level that you understand each other, that you can say what you're going to do and how you're going to do it. You don't move the way that she moved in an open relationship.
She's definitely not jiggy with it. I'm sorry, it had to be done.
So, and this gets discombobulated. We're just going to go here because again, I'm on one. We're going to go here because I am pro poly. I am pro polyandry specifically. For me, it is a option, not a goal. But the option for me is a closed poly-monogamous relationship with probably 2 or 3 men. That's ideal for me. Okay? Where people get fucked up is that they keep intermixing, which we do this across the board. It's not just with relationships, but non-monogamous, poly, and open. None of those things are the fucking same. Am I here? None of these things are the same. Poly, non-monogamous, and open. These are not the fucking same words. They do not mean the same. They are not the same thing. Now, this is me in my limited knowledge of it. It didn't seem like it was fucking complicated, but for some reason, people got to make it fucking complicated. Here's how I see it. If you in an open relationship, you in an open relationship. Y'all are in a committed relationship to each other, but both of y'all can do what the fuck you want to do, when you want to do it, and how you want to do it, and it doesn't affect the relationship that you have. Non-monogamous means that you are not monogamous with anybody under any circumstances, and everyone is aware that you are non-monogamous. I have maintained a non-monogamous friendships for, God, Gilly, how long? 2.5 years now. And prior to that, when I was single, in between my hiccups in 6 years, I have only maintained non-monogamous relationships with people. They knew that they were not the only person that I was involved with. I knew that I was not the only person that they were involved with, and we did not have a relationship. We had a fucking understanding.
And what was the understanding?
The understanding is I'm fucking somebody and so are you, and it don't matter. Don't come to me. Don't talk to me. We don't need to know, but don't ask me what I'm doing. Don't question what I'm doing. We are not in a relationship.
Don't fall in love.
We're not obligated. Right. I mean, if people fell in love, I fell in love kind of sort of with one of my dudes. I ain't gonna lie. You already know. I mean, he was fucking, I did. But let me tell you what happened. I told him that I had feelings for him, and he said, I'm not, I'm still in
just
my
like you would have told somebody if they would have caught feelings for you in an open relationship.
And I
you would have told them just this plainly.
And he said, "What you want to do now?" And I said,
"I want to keep doing it.
I'll move accordingly." And that's what I did. I sucked up my feelings. He wasn't ready for me. I wasn't ready for him. Whatever be the case, and we kept on doing what we was doing, and that was that. If you're in an open so now we talk about open and we talk about non-monogamy. Let's talk about poly. Poly is what people are when they are in a relationship, a marriage, a commitment.
I don't understand.
Then you decide what that poly looks like.
But
poly has a million words. I can have 3 husbands. We can be in a closed poly. So my perfect case scenario is a closed poly monogamous relationships, which sounds like it doesn't.
What is that? What is that?
That means that I would have 3 husbands or mates, whatever word you want to use.
Mm-hmm.
We would be monogamous to each other. In other words, they would not be out fucking everybody, and I wouldn't be fucking nobody else but them.
Could they have sex with each other?
If they want to.
Okay.
But that's up to them. That's not about me. Right? Okay. Like, we would all have to be in agreement. This isn't any different than a monogamous person choosing their individual tribe, right? Now, me personally, I feel like there's one person that was intended for me, that the creator said.
Do you think men would go for that?
Yes, there's plenty of women that have multitude of men.
She gets to bang all 3 of us, but I can only bang her. Why can't I bang 2 other people?
First of all, then they're not the man for me. You see how this works?
Oh, okay. It's the relationship you craft and choose.
Right. And there are other men who would want to craft that same type of relationship. And there are women who want to craft a relationship with another woman and another man. That's fine. Do that. And my point is just fucking wait. And I got no Gilly, swear to God, I got no fucking business saying this right now because I'm the most impatient woman when it comes to this.
Oh God, what are you going to say?
Wait. Just wait. Stop making something into nothing. Now, I don't think that I do that.
That's why you prefaced it. That's why you prefaced it.
I don't think I make something into nothing, but I am very impatient.
Girl, there's a vision board we see on your wall, and there's an entire vision board in your head that can be constructed, filled, and fluffed in 3.5 minutes. I'm just saying. You love love.
I do love, and I feel like I am evolving and healing, and I may not
be. This motherfucker right here is asleep. I'm gonna slit his fucking throat.
Completely healed, but I'm in a place where I'm prepared enough to be the woman that I need to be for a man. And
I think you are. I think you are. I think that, you know what? You're in a place that you're able to give everything that you want to give without losing yourself. And other ones, you lost yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, there were times during the hiccups that you were so empty. It wasn't about losing yourself. You had to fill it with them. And now I think you're so whole that you're just going to be a compliment. You're not. I know what it is. I'm skating around the word. You're no longer going to be codependent. You know what I mean? You're going to be able to give everything. Don't point at that nasty song. Horrible. Oh, slow jams. Goodness gracious. I will take Metallica or M-Ball and MJG instead of your slow jams.
I don't give a fuck because it's
anyway. Like I said, you're gonna have a much healthier going forward because you're whole, and you'll be able to give without losing yourself.
And I'm aware of who I am, and I'm aware of what I'm prepared to, I don't want to say offer, but what I'm prepared to give.
I'm bumping around in this room with a blindfold on, like I'm on 16 Xanax. Like I'm bumping around here like a fucking pinball. I don't know where I'm going and what I'm doing.
So, I'm still trying to share the show and I'm failing miserably. Jay, I promise right now I'm
Should
getting
women start holding each other accountable? Hell yeah. We call each other out all day long about men and even coworkers. They'll call each other out about this and that, but nobody calls somebody out on their horrible behavior or the horrible racist things they say or the things that they do in front of their children. The second you do, they'll become defensive, just like they do with their man. They'll become defensive. Nobody ever wants to admit the truth. It's the worst thing in the world to admit. It's the worst thing in the world to hear. I recently held somebody accountable for something that they've done, and I don't plan to or care to speak to her ever again.
Right.
So there's that.
I mean,
I hold you accountable daily. You hold me accountable hourly.
I mean, we hold each other accountable. And that's what the fuck we're supposed to do. Okay, so my Jay, when I share the link, it comes up Facebook, and I'm going to tell you what it comes up as. I don't know why the fuck this is.
Why do they get offensive instead of listening?
I don't know.
Oh gosh,
I don't know how to. I'm just.
Easier.
Why do they get offensive instead of listening? Who definitely, but some women won't be your friends after the conversation. Should women start holding
people accountable? Start holding accountable.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, Silky Savage. Absolutely. Let me tell you something. If you think Gilly right here let me get away with shit, y'all got me fucked up. I remember, I swear to you, I'm going to tell this story. And this is, y'all can take it for whatever it's worth.
Which
okay?
Story?
Oh, you going to hear it, bitch? Just listen.
Okay.
So I'm talking to Gilly one day, and I'm telling her a story that somebody that I know told me, about his friend. What that makes them, Silky Savage, is...
Oh, she was a hater from jump. She wanted to be me.
What it makes them is hurt, is what it makes them. They may be your friend. Why are they offensive? Because us women right now are arrogant. We have narcissistic tendencies, or we are narcissistic.
We stepped into the man's role, but we don't know how to do it because it isn't our freaking role.
Exactly.
Know your fucking role.
And it doesn't matter who says something to us, because we have been attacked our whole lives. We have to immediately go to the defense instead of just being receptive.
Well, the other fact is that they're doing it from their environment. They're doing it because their mother did it. That mother's doing it because that grandmother did it. So they're doing it because of where they grew up and how they grew up, right? So they never saw anybody explain it or heal from it. Like you said, they never saw somebody heal from it, they're only going to be offensive because they don't know the damn answer. They don't know why they're still doing it. Most of the time, 95% of the time, people in their head are saying, I know this is wrong, but I'm still doing it. I would do it all the time. It took great effort to say, get off your bullshit, man. No one wants to hear you all the time.
It takes effort. That's the problem. This is the problem we don't want to work through. We're in this stage where we go, oh, I act this way because I've been through some shit, and so such and such, and my daddy or my mama, and this, that, and the other, and this man, and blah, blah.
That shit reminds me of me. It says, I'm like this because I'm a Sagittarius. No, you're an asshole, Karen. You're that way because you're an asshole, Karen.
Basically, you're a fucking asshole.
What story were you talking about?
Okay, so here's the story. So one of my closest acquaintances was telling me how he had a friend. It was a man, and he had a friend that was a woman. Strictly friends, of course. He has no reason to lie to me about this story, by the way. There's no ulterior motive. So it was one of his friends, because men and women can be friends without fucking, by the way. For that conversation, let's just move past that.
They can be, but at least 50% of half of that couple wants to fuck.
I'm probably not the one to be good with this to answer that.
Half of that couple wants to.
Because listen, I'm not the chick. I'm not the chick, nor am I the man that goes, I really have to like you to fuck you. No, I don't.
No.
I don't. I'm just being honest. I don't have to fucking like you. I need you to shut the fuck up and get naked. That's all I need you to do.
Oh
If I don't
my.
like you, I don't like you. But if you can feel a need right now for me and you're willing to feel the need, then feel the need. Just shut the fuck up while you're doing it. That's just me. Okay? Nobody has to like that about me. And I don't give a fuck if you like it or not. I'm just being honest. All these other women out here lying. I ain't had sex in 3 months. I ain't had sex in 6 months. I ain't had sex in a year. Okay, I'm not saying all of them are lying, but come on. I don't believe that shit. I don't know nobody. And there's not one woman I know that has ever said to me, I'm not having sex right now. No, because guess what? We have
Kim.
needs as well, too.
Kim, I'm not having sex right now.
Bitch, I said, first of all, I wouldn't have sex if I were you either. Not with
Oh,
that. Anyway, point taken. Here we go. So he is, okay, so I frequent a spot all the time. All the time. I frequent a spot. And it is my place. It's where I go drink. I don't go out a lot. I don't do a lot of things. I'm not out in the streets. That's just not me. Okay. I go to this one place. I day drink. I know literally they call it the Black Cheers. It's not a joke. That's what they call it because everybody knows everybody. Everybody comes in hugging, kissing, loving, drinking, buying. It's a good time. So I'm in there one night and I had met someone prior, this gentleman who is now a very good acquaintance of mine. He was in there with another woman. And this is about Gilly holding me accountable. And we're talking about accountability that morning. And I said, let me tell you the story he told me. I was like, let me tell you the story he told me. I was like, he was in there. And so like, there's a bar. And then behind the bar on the other side of the room is like a bench that goes the whole wall with tables and chairs or whatever. This gentleman had come in another night and we had already met now, but we weren't completely acquainted. We just had met each other. And he's in there with a woman who per him, not per her, per him, she's never left the city. She's never been out of her neighborhood. She's never experienced anything more than what she knows. She's very limited in her knowledge of the outside world, other than maybe what she sees on social media. She's not at her full potential as a woman. So they're sitting over there. I'm at the bar. Now, mind you, again, let me be very clear. I've been going to this bar for 3 fucking years. I literally know 95% of the people that show up in that bar. We love on each other. We talk business. We talk bullshit. We talk sex. We talk men. We talk women. We talk it all. We just talk. But most of the time, if I'm being honest, because I'm at the bar, I'm surrounded by men. And we're talking and laughing and joking and touching and groping. I call it groping. And we're doing all these great things, and he's talking to her, and I'm telling Gilly the story, by the way. I'm telling her the story. And he's telling her, you could be her. You just see how confident she is, how she's having a great time, how she's dressed, how the men are reacting to her and responding to her, how they're, all speaking to each other and doing this and doing that. And Gilly goes, and how do you feel about that? And I said, honestly, I think it's like the most beautiful thing that he would speak about me like that. This is Gilly's fucking comment. Gilly goes, oh, so it's not about him empowering this woman. It's about how you feel. I was like, okay, so I'm an asshole. I mean, let's just be honest. I'm a fucking asshole because I was thinking in my mind, like, oh, that's so fucking dope that you would talk about me like that. Like, that's so amazing. I mean, I love that you would say those things about me. And in that moment, Gilly held my ass accountable. Like, bitch, you can't, this wasn't about you. This was about her. This was about lifting her up, empowering her. And you like, oh, he's so cute talking about me. And like, I'm an asshole. I was an asshole in that moment. And she was like, okay, so this is not about him empowering her. It's about you. Okay, got it. That's all she said. She didn't say shit else. But guess what? Gilly's here. She's my friends. And we're still talking. Actually, she's my sister, but that's not the point.
Because
But
there's
she's
true-
still here.
because
We're
there's
still
true
together.
love.
We're still talking. We're still, you know what I mean? Because
Right. The
as
friend I was referring to earlier, I found through her actions and words, wasn't a real friend. And
Yeah.
I am not egotistical. I'm not pompous. I'm not full of myself. I barely have any love for myself at all. So when I say she wanted to be me, I'm not saying that in any type. This is not steeped in any type of conceit. The way she operated and talked about my life, I literally feared ever being around her again, type of thing. So the haters will fall off. True
they
friends,
will.
true friends like you and I will stay forever and eternal strong.
Right. Which goes back to Silky Savage's comment at Cable. Does that make them a friend or they don't want to talk to you anymore? What it makes them is they're either going to be accountable and they're going to be receptive, or they're not going to be accountable. They're not going to be receptive. And it doesn't make them not a friend. It makes them not ready.
Oh, no, they're not my friend. They could be ready for somebody else later on.
Right. I mean, no, and I agree. Like if I agree with that. I'm not. We don't
fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me.
You know, I don't know. Okay, let me be clear about this. Okay, you guys. Me and Gilly been through some shit. We've been through some fucking relationships. Okay. Yes. Oh, let me say this. Anybody who is listening, if y'all want to come on and talk, you can.
Yes,
please come in. Like, please come talk. Subscribe, like, share.
The Leo in me is like, oh, I'm not enough.
Yeah,
I'm not enough. This isn't about you, Gillian.
Please, I mean, if y'all have something to say more than in the comments, and you like Gilly, you don't have to turn your video on if you don't want to. If you want to, great. But come up here and have a conversation with me. Jay's posting a link. My fucking producer, who is the dopest dude ever, post a link in the comments, and you can come on and have a conversation. We don't just. I mean, me and Gilly talk every fucking day. I mean,
literally talk 7 times a day at least.
And Bruce isn't coming on because he was obliviated when he left Bazaar today. So,
oh, with him obliviated would be hilarious.
Oh, he was priceless.
He's probably face down right now, shoes still on.
Probably. So, but if y'all want to talk, please feel free to chime in. I have no problem talking. Men, women, you know.
I've been in some hellish relationships.
What?
You stood at an altar completely uninloved and married someone. I let somebody beat the hell out of me so they felt more like a man. What?
Did you, or were you just so
not at the time? I didn't. I wasn't saying, oh, every time he hits me, he feels more like. At the time, I did not know that. But as I grow up, as I get older, I think to myself, what the fuck you stay for? One, because your mother got beat, and you thought that was love, and two, you did. Taking his hits made him feel more like a man. And you felt like that was your role in it. You continually put yourself or other people ahead of you. You end up doing that.
Right.
Yeah, we've had some hellish relationships. Yours lasted a shit ton longer than it should have. But it's over. And I swear to God, I don't want to talk about it anymore. I really don't.
It is over.
It is over. There's literally nothing else new that we can say. We've touched every aspect. We've thought about it in every way.
Yeah.
It needs to die. Should we have a burial?
I mean, no, because my mother did some whack ass shit like that, and I'm not doing that. You know why? Because I don't need to. I don't need to make that type of statement. Yeah, I mean, that's the truth. I don't need to make that type of statement to know that. I don't need to make that type of
statement. Sometimes doing things physically.
My mother put a physical. No, listen. If that's what y'all want to do, cool. But my mother put a physical cross in the yard for my father because her psychiatrist told her to do so.
If that made her feel better. If that made her feel better, let it make her feel better.
Okay, let me say something because this is a perfect example for creating generational curses. My father is alive, and he is my fucking father.
Oh, wait a minute. I thought you meant her father.
No, my father.
That's not okay.
You're a dick. No, my father. Okay, let me. Gilly, can you write this? I'm going to write this down. I'm going to write this down, that what we're talking about, because
Let me just clarify. You said your mother put a cross of your father as if it were a grave in her yard, but your father is still well alive, just dead to her. I thought you meant her father. That it was her way of remembering grandpa.
No. Okay, so we're gonna come back to that. Let me say this to Silky Savage real quick.
Like writing a pros and con list. That's a physical act that gives you a different mental path.
We're gonna talk about this, but let me say this real quick to Silky Savage. Baby, I appreciate that you're sorry that we went through this. Number one, Gilly's still going through it because she's still choosing him. Number two, I chose that motherfucker every day. I got up as a broken woman and I chose him every fucking day for 20 years. And that is me holding myself accountable. I am not going to say that, oh, my life this and my life that, and oh, I was this. I was all of those things. I was beaten, tortured, dehumanized, you name it, it happened to me. It was unnecessary. But every fucking day of that 20 years, I woke up and I chose him. Over and over again, I chose him. Publicly, privately, intimately, I chose him. Baby, you ain't gotta be sorry. Yeah, you feel me? You ain't gotta be sorry for me. You ain't gotta be sorry that I went through it, because this is the shit that I'm on here talking about. We have to be accountable for what we do. Why would I sit here and bash this man who is broken and defeated and powerless to the demons within him when I chose him every day? I would love to sit here and talk shit about him and dog him. Two reasons why I won't. Number one, because I chose him. Number two, because he is the father. He planted seeds in me that produced fucking the most amazing motherfucking creatures I've ever met in my life. And we as women need to stop saying he got me pregnant. He ain't no good baby daddy. You laid down with him. You opened your legs and you agreed for him to go raw inside of you. He did not do shit. Y'all did.
She said raw.
Y'all did. Y'all did that shit. Right. We did it. We did it together. We made those babies. I didn't do shit without him. I appreciate a man who thinks the woman is the womb man. I appreciate.
And you can't blame yourself. You did your best. You tried with all tried to keep it together. And you prayed with all prayed for it to get better.
Okay, let's look up these words, because it's not blame. It's accountability, and that's fucking different. I'm not blaming myself. Let's look up the definition, so because I don't want to misconstrue it. Blame means assign responsibility for a fault or a wrong. And let's see.
You're not taking any responsibility for his faults.
Accountable.
Only your own.
Accountable.
Is that 2 L's?
Acceptable or understandable of a person or organ required or expected to justify their actions or decisions. Responsible. That's different than blaming yourself, which is holding yourself wrong. I wasn't wrong and I wasn't at fault. I was fucking broken. I was fucking broken, and you heifers are fucking broken. If you are raising your children, your girls, to be hateful attitude and to feed into the narratives that are so divisive within your community, then you are to blame at that point, because you are encouraging a fault or a wrong. And it's time to take that blame and turn it into accountability. Be accountable for the seeds that you are raising. Be accountable for the healing that they're going to need from your punk ass for doing them the way that you're doing. I am always, and I will always, until my last breath, be accountable for the wounds that I created in my seeds. They are responsible for healing them now. But baby, best believe that I hold myself accountable, and that whatever they need to heal the deepest depths of the wounds that I helped create, that's what they're going to get from me. I'm not going to create more generational curses. I'm fucking breaking them. And not only am I fucking breaking them, I'm creating blessings. Am I 100% beautiful, great, perfect, all that every day? Fuck no, I'm not. But I'm accountable. I'm accountable every day for my behavior. I'm accountable in every moment for my behavior. I'm accountable for what I am doing and how I move in the presence of my seeds. I said something one day to one of my, I wish I knew who it was, but I don't. And I said, my intention is to heal so that I can give my grandbabies who ain't even here. They're not even on the way. They're not even here. But I can give them the healing, whole love that they need. I can be the wisdom in the family. I can give to them what I couldn't give my seeds. And they said to me, why do you got to wait for your grandbabies to get here?
That's a good point. Right. Change
Why
now.
would you be the mother that you need to be to them now? Who gives a fuck if they grown? I'm still their mama.
And they still need
call
you.
them my babies.
Your nephew walks in and says, "Why is Auntie angry?"
I'm not angry.
I said she's not angry. She's being passionate.
I'm
I said,
passionate.
is she yelling? He said, yeah. So what's she yelling about? People aren't accountable. I said, well, you got it through to him.
I love Brandon.
I think that's an excellent message. I think you finally, when we strip away what we want to sound like, it really becomes evident of what we want to say. A lot of the time, remember, it was about a year ago. I said, I'm sick and tired of sounding like what everybody else wants me to sound like. I'm going to say what I want. Let the occasional F slip where the F slips. I'm going to be exactly who I am. I'm tired of being this person for the teacher, and this person for the principal, and this person for the bus lady, and this person for this person. And I'm just going to be me. I'm sick and freaking tired. I'm exhausted. I don't know where I was going with that.
That's funny as shit. So, I've been sending the wrong link to everybody, by the way. So my bad. And listen, here's the deal. Seriously, everybody knows that I'm not good at this. It's not it is what it is. I'm working on it. This is why I'm literally doing the best that I can possibly do. Right. I'm doing the best that I can do.
You're doing great, man. And the pink dress today, nice, cute.
Okay, first of all, have y'all seen me today?
Because you stood up, but you didn't turn sideways. Like you didn't. Oh
no, there's a sideways pic because this
golden goose.
Oh no, this ass is popping. All of this. Let me just be clear about something.
This ass is popping.
Let me just be clear about this, so there's no fucking confusion. Okay.
I wish I could turn my body around so my belly is my booty.
Yeah, because let me tell you something. I'm not here for y'all's entertainment. I'm here for mine. So.
Oh, absolutely.
100%.
100%. Let's see the shoes.
Yeah, it took me 50 fucking plus years to appreciate and love my fucking body, the skin that I'm in.
Oh, I get it.
I'm still learning to love my choices and who I am. I'm still learning what I like to wear, how I like to wear it, what I like to eat, who I like to be around, who I don't. I'm still learning some things. Because when I left my husband of 20 years, I had a mattress on the floor. A year and a half later, I had to go to a fucking class, and I had to have someone who had an account at a credit union vouch for me just to get a fucking bank account, baby. When I tell you I lived in poverty, that's what I lived in. I had to start everything over. I didn't know what I like to eat. I didn't know
nothing. And before the mattress, it was even less than that.
It was less than that.
It was you had a bag.
I mean, I did not literally unpack my storage unit until a year and a half ago, and I left 6 years ago. It was a year and a half ago that my daughter brought all of my things out of a storage unit. I had lived out of a bag for 4 years. Basically, I mean, for me, not for everybody else, but I see it now. I was on the run. That's kind of how I lived. I lived like I was on the run.
You made it work. You survived every step of the way, man. Every step of the way. We got more going to go.
I mean, listen.
So I played all the lotteries.
I'm not perfect.
I did the cash for life.
I'm not
a therapist. Powerball. I did the lotto. I did the Mega Millions, the jackpot, and the Fantasy 5. Honey girl, we're going to win this, and we're going to go. We out.
And the fact that we have access to what we have access to and
Like,
still can't find the place to realize that what I used to say this all the time because I'm a huge advocate for Black rights and for injustice and for liberation. And I speak on systemic racism as much as I can, and oppression and genocide and all of those things. And before I knew what I was doing, you know what I'm saying? I didn't really know.
oh, because you're already living it, so you didn't
Yeah, I mean,
before. No, I think you fell into other people that were speaking the same things, and it blew your mind. Like, that's how I've always felt. That's how I've always spoken. That's exactly what I've done. And you didn't know there were liberation movements, I don't think, out there. When
oh,
you
of course.
realized there were movements, it all made sense to you because it's how you always felt. But I'm talking about, this is how she felt way back to cross colors, people. Cross colors. Okay.
Well, I remember
What was
being
this, the 80s?
I mean, I remember being, no, I remember, yep, it was in the early 80s. And I remember, and I tell this story often on my other podcasts as well, too. In the 80s, and I was telling people, I was telling so I'm the only child. My mother's the only child. I don't have a lot of relatives on her side, but my father came from there was 8 of them. And both of my grandparents had 13 and 11. My grandfather had 13 siblings. My grandmother had 11
Jesus.
siblings. Yeah. So I came from, on that side, a huge family. And I remember telling those racist fucks back when I was in junior high that I was not going to have white babies. And I didn't know what I was saying. I didn't understand it. I didn't
I
have a
think I knew it
clue.
too. I
I
knew it
didn't
too.
know.
When I knew what sex and love and all that was, I think I knew it too. But I
I,
have to go, sister.
yeah. I didn't
Okay.
know, though. I didn't know. And then I lived with a man for 20 years who was reading A Pale White Horse back in the fucking 90s and didn't fucking educate me. Like, motherfucker, I'm bearing Black children, pushing them out, and you not
You know what?
educating
That's
me.
another show right there.
That's a whole.
We need to know, and a lot of these white mothers out here raising Black children need to know
They don't
what
give a fuck.
we tell our children. We weren't raised in an environment where our parents told us a certain set of things. So therefore, we're raising children that we didn't tell a certain set of things to. I need to speak to Black moms. I need to speak to Black aunties and daddies. I need to know what you're telling your children because I'm obviously not arming my children with the information they need. And I guarantee you a lot of white moms aren't either.
Well,
So
you know
that's a
what?
whole story in itself. I would
That
love to
is.
get some knowledge behind that.
That's a whole nother. That's a whole
I
nother
would love it.
conversation to have.
I have to go tonight, but I love you.
Okay, I
I'm
love you too. Thank you.
I love you. I love you all. Bye, bye. Talk to you in the morning. I mean,
Bye.
8:30. Coffee time. Coffee
7:30,
time.
bitch. Don't play.
It's a time difference. God darn it.
Okay, bye. Okay, bye. See you later. Bye. Thank you for coming. I appreciate you. Okay, so I want to go back because I wrote it down. I want to tell you about your cross in the yard. This is like creating generational curses. Let me just be honest. So we're gonna. How long we been on here, Jay? Too long? Because tonight I've been drinking, so I've been talking. I've been drinking. I'm going way past my hour, huh? Look at me. Okay, we're gonna talk about this, and then we're gonna be done. I don't want to keep y'all forever because I can talk all night when I've been drinking. So let me talk about the cross in the yard. So my mother was going to a therapist. So here's the backdrop, short version. Mother and father were high school sweethearts. They got married. They were a year apart. They got married a couple months before my mom graduated. My dad had already graduated. They were married. She was not pregnant. They just got married because he was in the Marines and they were pretty sure he was going to Vietnam. So they got married, and the school tried to kick her out. And my grandparents went to the school. My granddaddy did, not my grandmama, because she wasn't shit. But my granddaddy went to the school and said, "You got 2 pregnant women here at school. That's a big deal back then. And you won't let my daughter graduate, even though she's not pregnant, but she's married in March, and you graduate in May. Make it make sense." So it was a big stink, but they did it, and they graduated and all that. So anyway, my point is, they're high school sweethearts. When I was 19 or 20 or whatever, they split up, and they went back and forth for fuck, I don't even know, you guys. It was a nightmare. They went back and forth for several years, maybe 3 years total, before they actually got a divorce. My dad would move in, my mom would, I mean, it was just a mess. And my dad would come back and forth, and they would get together and then break back up, and then fucking harass each other. It was just a nightmare. Okay. It was a fucking nightmare. I was grown. So along this journey, my mom's going to therapy. Really, the only reason she was in therapy is to put her on medication, Prozac or something crazy. And so the therapist decides to tell my mother for closure, as if a divorce paper and document wasn't closure enough, to bury my father, basically. So my mother gets a fucking cross and puts it in the fucking front yard of her home, the home that I didn't really grow up there. I got there when I was 14. So I was there 4 or 5 years. That was my first home. But she puts it in the home. I mean, essentially that was my home. That was her home. She's still there. That's her home now. And she puts this cross with my fucking father's name on it in the fucking front yard where she parks her cars, literally. So my mom lives out in the country on some acreage. So like you drive in the driveway and you drive around, and it's like a, not a U, but like drive up, and then that's a circle. And then you go. So in the middle of that circle, she's got a cross, my God, with my damn daddy's name on it. My daddy's alive. I'm his daughter. He's my daddy. At that point, even though my father was not talking to me at that time because I was dating brothers, I'm just going to be honest. I grew up in a small town, and it was not okay for me to date brothers back then. It wasn't cool. People were getting their ass kicked. White girls were getting their ass kicked for fucking around with brothers. And my mom puts a cross in the yard of my daddy. And she goes, well, this is my closure. This is what I said. Did you talk to your fucking therapist about your daughter and what your daughter thinks about you burying her father in the front yard? I mean, this is the type of shit that I'm talking about. My mother, this is just her creating generational curses, I guess, to be honest with you, because my grandmother was toxic. My grandfather was toxic. Even though he was the best man that I know, he was still toxic. He came from a very fucking broken home. And so did my mother. So did my father. Generationally, they came from it. And then on top of that, they were white. Like, welcome to my fucking world. So I'm dealing with white mentality that I don't understand. And I'm dealing with pain and trauma that I don't understand. And now here I am, I'm not all the way grown, because now I realize I wasn't really grown. I'm sorry, I'm reading the chat. I'm not good at both. And my mom, and so now here I am, 20 years old, 21 at the time, probably, maybe 22. And my mom puts a fucking cross in the yard and says, I got to bury your daddy because it's the only way I can have closure. Mind you, my daddy's living across the street with her best friend. That's a whole nother show that I'm never going to have because it's irrelevant. But my point is, my mother proceeded to, at that point when they started breaking up, my grandmother was telling me that it was my fault that they were getting a divorce because I was fucking ninjas. I'm just going to say it like that. I was fucking ninjas. And that's how my grandmother talked to me, by the way. And that I was a ninja lover. And I was fucking ninjas. And so therefore, this is the way they talked to me, by the way. And therefore, this is why my parents were getting a divorce. This is why all this was happening. And, this kind of thing. And so now here's my mom putting a cross in the yard of my father and telling me that, what a horrible person he was and how horrible he was and, what all these names and whatever that he was and doing all these things. And baby, let me tell y'all something. It probably took me another 30 years. It took me leaving my ex-husband after 20 years with him to understand that everything my mother ever said about my father, ooh, Lord, is she watching this? Mama, I love you. I swear I do, but we broken. and I hate that this would hurt you, but she used to always say to me that I married my daddy. He just got black skin. And one day I realized I didn't marry my daddy. I married my mama because my mother was the narcissist. My mother was the one. That doesn't mean that my father wasn't involved, because they were both broken. But to have a woman create a grave for your father and proceed to tell you that this is the only way that she can move on from the life that she created with him, it's just not okay. This goes back to the original video that I put in here. What are we doing? We're so consumed with self. We don't even understand what we're doing to our own seeds and what we are creating in them. I fight every day, every fucking day. I fight to make sure that I'm the woman and the mother that is the best that I can. It's not even the best. That I'm healed and whole for them, because I'm aware. And I didn't have internet. I didn't have Google. I didn't have YouTube. I didn't have Podbean. I didn't have all this access. Nobody healed in front of me. Nobody spoke to me. Nobody said shit to me. First of all, I didn't even know what the fuck to say to me. Because and I say this all the time, I evolved past them. By the time I was 11, I was evolved past my parents. I had evolved. And I wasn't even fucking woke. At some point, we have to stop speaking to men and speaking at them and telling them how to behave. And we need to fucking show up as women and behave the way that we want a man to treat us. We cannot keep behaving the way that we're behaving. We cannot keep projecting what we are projecting. We cannot keep co-creating what we are creating and expect men to do something. We have to hold ourselves accountable for our own fucked up behavior, for our own fucked up pain, for our own trauma. And then don't just say I have it. I know why it's here, but this is why I act this way, so it's okay. No, it is not fucking okay. It is not fucking okay for you to teach your girls to be hateful to their fucking father when fathers are so desperately needed in our communities right now. Desperately needed. It's not okay for you to teach your girls to be fucking ugly to a man because it's cute. It's not. It's not cute. It's not funny. And it's not okay. And honest to God, I'm so fucking sick of all of it. And maybe I'm being selfish because I work so hard to be a good mama, and I work so hard to teach my kids about healing and to show them that I'm capable of healing so that they are too. That when I see women like this who are teaching and creating generational curses, it makes me want to throw bricks at them. Makes me literally want to throw bricks. I'm done talking tonight. I've been way over an hour, and I said I was going to go this show an hour. Okay, so let me just read really, really quick. Solid Blue Sister, good show. Ooh, that shirt, Silky Savage. Truth in every word, K Boogie. And I addressed Silky Savage. Silky Savage says, if a woman wants a man to lead, but always questions what he does, that means she really wants him to lead. No, I know I said I was going. Let me talk about this real quick. Women say we want a man to lead, but we can't be led. That's what the fuck that means. At the end of the day, Women who say shit like, I'm gonna be submissive when the right man shows up. That's not how it fucking works. And I spoke about this before. You not just gonna show up and be submissive. Baby, I believe in submission. Not like everybody else does, but it's not the point. I still believe in it. I believe in man and woman. I believe in balance of energy. I believe that we all hold masculine and feminine energy. And I believe that men hold more masculine and females hold more feminine. And I believe that that is the balance in the universe. That is my thought. It's the way I feel. You don't have to feel like I feel. However, as much as I believe in all that, I have to practice submission. I have to practice being receptive. I have to practice keeping my mouth shut when I want to talk. I have to practice good, whole, healing behavior. And that's what the fuck us women need to do. Stop talking at these men. Stop telling them what the fuck you want and be who you want to be for the man that you want to attract. If you want to have an fucking attitude and you want to be shitty and you want to be ugly, and that's the man that, and you're going to attract a man that's okay with all those things, then baby, do you. But keep your fucking mouth shut about the way that men act. If you, and me and Gilly talk about this, and I'm going to be very fucking honest. I stopped going to the gym about 1.5 years ago, and I gained a little weight. I don't care about my weight. I'm just being honest with you. I spent years obsessed with my weight and what the number was. I'm not like that anymore. If you don't like all this soft, wrinkly, fupa and stretch marks and extra belly and 52-year-old boobies, you ain't got to like it, baby. The next man will. That's fine. That's cool. I don't appreciate it. That's fine. But like I tell Gilly, my body. And I finally said, one day I said, we need this way I feel about it. You cannot abuse your body continually. And then your body show up the way that you abused it. And then be mad at your body for looking the way that it does. You cannot continually verbally abuse, physically abuse, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually abuse men and expect them to fucking show up the way you need them to show up. If you want a fucking man to show up spiritually, mentally, emotionally, and physically, and financially for you, then have her show up for yourself in all of those areas. And then you will attract the man that you truly want. Again, if you want to be in a toxic relationship and you want to find a man who's in a toxic relationship and that's what y'all want to do, that's cool. Do that. But tell your fucking children that if they emulate your behavior, that they are not to complain about the people that they attract into their lives. Stop creating shit and then bitching about what you're creating. If you want something good and whole and heal, then be good and whole and heal. Stop telling these men what the fuck to do and let them fucking do what they do. Let them be sexual. Let them be men. Let them be providers. Let them be protectors. Let them lead. And I said this earlier on somebody's post, and he took his whole page down, probably because I said this, and I'm not taking responsibility for that. I'm just saying. And what I said was, we misconstrue everything. We leaders, protectors, providers, and providers. Everybody's so quick to talk about the Bible, but monetary value was not an issue back in the biblical days. Monetary value didn't even fucking exist. That's not what they mean when they mean provide. It's not what they meant. Lead. It's not an obligation. You're not obligated to follow. You honor them and respect them, so you follow. You trust them and you understand their loyalty, so you follow. You don't submit because they obligate you. You submit because of the adoration and the respect that you have for the fucking man that chose you. He protects you spiritually, mentally. These aren't physical things. They're spiritual. We're not physical. We're spiritual. Us women need to address our spiritual so we can attract the spiritual man that we keep claiming that we want to choose, that we desire in our lives. All right, I'm done. Everybody who showed up, fucking thank you. Subscribe, like, share the shit out of the show. Comment. Y'all already have. I don't have to tell y'all comment, but please share the show, like the show. SavageCom.ent. Jim Savage is my motherfucking hero. I'm Kimberly Michael. I'm in love with me. So Tuesday nights, 8 p.m. Central Time. Podbean Sunday nights, 9 p.m. sometimes. Tune in. Let us know. Come through. Thank you. Gilly, thank you for showing up. I appreciate you. K Boogie, Silky Savage, and I'm Solid Blue Sister. And I know I'm missing somebody who was here earlier. It's Victoria, Jay. Thank you. I love y'all. Be safe and hold yourself accountable. Be great. I believe in you.